Hello everyone, Newbie Prepper here, and today I'd like to take a moment to talk about fire. So, with that, let's start off with the following. Couple of disclaimers. Number one, I'm not a professional, I'm a newbie, so whatever you get here is mostly opinion, it's not fact, but take it for what it is. You could learn something useful in here. Number two, this is shot on my cell phone camera. Galaxy 5 cell phone. I'm not getting a professional GoPro camera. I don't see the need for it. I don't shoot these videos to make money. I don't shoot these videos on a professional level. I pretty much just shoot these videos just to shoot them, just to take and keep a record of my own preps. If you see them, cool. If not, cool. But anyway, so take it as it is. Let's start off with the video. So, for fire preparations, let's see, I've got a couple of things put together. Now, most importantly, how to make fire. So, I picked up this fire starter. It's from Uberleben. If you look it up on Amazon, I think it was 20 bucks, but it is a ferro rod. It's a ferrocerium rod. It's not a magnesium rod, so you can't scrape shavings off of it. It is a standard sparky ferro rod. It works great. It starts up a lot of stuff on fire. Almost started my carpet on fire and one of those cotton rags you seen earlier in an earlier video. It works pretty good. But anyway, I got that as my last ditch go to fire starter. Also, I've got lighters. Of course, everyone knows lighters. Cheapy little lighters. I should probably invest in Bics because they last much longer. These cheapies will probably break down. I'll be pissed off in the middle of a rainstorm trying to start a campfire with no lighters because they're all broken. So yeah, but this is just to demonstrate. Lighters are important. Get a couple, 3, 4, however many you need. But I don't recommend you stock up an entire bag full of lighters. Just a couple will do. 2 or 3, good enough. Then get a backup fire source. Ferro rod. Your last ditch past the ferro rod, once your lighters are all gone, once your ferro rod is all gone, your last ditch will have to be a bow drill. At that point, you can take the time to build a bow drill while you're making fires with lighters and ferro steel. A lot of people sit there and talk about getting those all weatherproof matches and stuff. You know what? You throw these lighters in a plastic Ziploc baggie. Yeah, you've got weatherproof. Yeah, weatherproof matches are nice to have, except that you get a box of 20. Guess what? All you're starting is 20 fires. They take up as much space as a lighter, but all you're starting up is 20 fires, and that's it. After those 20 matches are gone, what do you got? You got an empty box. Now, I'm not going to knock on anybody for using them. Hell, use them. Me, I'm thinking I might get some, but I really don't need them. Simply because I've got lighters and a ferro rod. They're a nice option to have. They would be cool to have. I'm not knocking anybody for having them. In fact, they do have their good points. They do have their good points, such as, they work well even when they get wet. They're waterproof. Yeah, they're a good thing to have. Matches are reliable. Matches have been around for hundreds of years, if not tens of hundreds of years. Millennia. But, hell, me, I'll stick with lighters and a ferro rod. Next thing I've got is a bottle of Everclear. Notice 95% alcohol by volume, 190 proof. Now, a little capful, you know what? You get a salsa jar. You get a salsa jar and take the cap off of it, pour a little bit in there. I'd say about halfway up. That thing will burn for about 10 minutes. This is Everclear. It'll burn it'll burn nice. It'll burn warm. It'll burn anywhere. The reasoning for Everclear. I know it's a big bottle. It's the huge bottle. It's the whatever bottle. It's a 1.5 liter bottle. I'm gonna get the smaller bottle simply because it's easier to transport. But there's several reasons for Everclear. Number one, it can start up a fire. You can soak anything in it and light it up, and it'll burn. Simply because the alcohol itself burns. Number two, the alcohol can be used for medicinal purposes. Disinfectant, clean a wound, do whatever, it'll work on it. Number three, you can drink this stuff. I mean, if you've got nothing left and you're down in the dumps, well, you can drink this stuff, get drunk, and fall asleep. Whatever. It's also a good painkiller, I guess. I mean, you get drunk enough, you don't feel no pain. So yeah, you can drink this, you can start fire with this. Whenever I have gone camping, I have brought a small bottle of Everclear with, just for the simple use of, hey, we need it. And I've used it to start fires before. Hell, I've used it as an alternative to starting barbecue fires instead of that whatchamacallit, lighter fluid. I've used Everclear to start barbecue fires with. It's a little bit better. Now, next thing is, it's a pretty good thing to have. You might as well drag some with. I don't recommend you do it because it does take up a lot of room and it does take up a lot of weight. But if it's something you're thinking of bringing with, bring it with. It's better than some medicine. Not better than some medicine. It's worse than medicine, but it has its purposes. It's a multi-purpose thing. Next thing I have is good old petroleum jelly or Vaseline and cotton balls. Now, a lot of people make tinder with petroleum jelly and cotton balls, and then they sit there and put it together and pack it away. I'm not doing that simply because two things. Number one, separately, they don't take up a lot of space, and they have multiple uses. For instance, if I've got cotton balls with petroleum jelly on it, that's it. That's all I can do with it is just use them as tinder. But if I keep them separate, if I need to make tinder, I can easily make the tinder. Crack open the petroleum jelly, dip a cotton ball in there, smear it around, poof, I've got tinder. But if all I need is petroleum jelly, I have it right there. For lubrication, for whatever uses, I don't even know what the uses on it are. But for whatever, I have them right there. If all I need is cotton balls to put together with my alcohol to clean cuts or something, I have just the cotton balls itself with nothing on them. Clean, nice cotton balls. Sometimes all you need is just cotton balls, blank cotton balls with nothing on them. They don't take up a lot of space, as you can see. It's pretty squishy. I can squish them down, do whatever. Keep them in my bag. Petroleum jelly, it's a small little tub, not a lot of it. I can keep it in my bag. So, keeping these three things separate, works pretty good. I'll keep them separate. If I need to put them together to make tinder, I'll put it together to make tinder. Now, the last thing that I have is these little tea lights. Everybody knows them. They're little dinky tiny tea lights. But I picked up a bag of 100 of them for $5.99 at, I don't know, dollar store? Something like that. I don't remember where. Actually, a friend of mine picked them up while she was out shopping. So, got a bag of 100 of them. Of course, I am not going to take a whole bag of 100 of them. These things all together weigh about, 4 or 5 pounds, something like that. Yeah, it's a pretty heavy little bag. So, that takes up a lot of space. Notice my hand. That takes up a lot of space, and it takes up a lot of weight to carry a bunch of candles. But I can take a few of them with. They burn for quite a little bit of time. I think like 30 minutes or something like that. for each one, and I've seen some interesting videos where people make heaters out of them. Using them and little flower pots, you can make decent heaters out of them, which is kind of nice. Yeah, you know, a little space heater with 4 tea lights and, you know, a flower pot and some dishes and stuff. So, you know, hell, put together a few things, you've got tea lights. Plus, I can also use them as tinder. Light up a tea light, put it into a pile of wood, let it sit there and slowly burn and start the fire go while I go do other things or whatever. Have a controlled burn or something. Or I can take the wax out, melt it down in a pot or pan or, you know, whatever I have. Mix them in with cotton balls or chopped up sawdust and turn that into tinders. So, yeah, these are my fire essentials, basically. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you in the next video.